Overcoming fear is an integral part in becoming a strong adult and in making great strides for humanity in the fight for peace and justice. James Neal Hollingsworth once said, "Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the judgment that something else is more important than fear." Fear holds people back in life, and the ability to be courageous over all else is a momentous experience in a person's life. We all face fear in our everyday lives, from public speaking to a fear of heights, but sometimes we need to conquer our fears in order to make a difference in society, realize our full potential, or even save a life. When I was a younger child, I was always fearful of the ocean. The gigantic, tidal forces of the waves threatened me as a small child, and the fear of drowning was one that lurked in my mind on every trip to the beach or onto a boat. Thoughts of sharks and jellyfish swimming in the murky water of the ocean kept me on land for most of my early life. When I was 12 years old, my family and I took a vacation to the beach. While still enduring a fear of the ocean, I decided to go into the water with my younger brother to swim. Suddenly, while attempting to come back to shore, my brother and I got caught in a riptide. My fear of drowning almost overtook me, as I thought my brother and I were in grave danger. My adrenaline was racing, and I was scared to death. My brother and I frantically tried to swim towards the shore, but we could not size up to the might and power of the ocean's thrust. Yet, through this fear, I learned the meaning of courage. I decided that, being the older, stronger brother, I needed to act quickly in order to save my brother. I put my fear of the ocean out of my mind and determined that fighting through the riptide was more important. If I had not been courageous, I would not have had the presence of mind to remember that swimming parallel to the shore was the correct way to escape riptides, which we did. Courage saved our lives, and without courage, we both could have drowned. Just like in the creation story, had the coot been afraid of the ocean, the universe might have never been created. But he was courageous, and the coot was successful. Fears hold people back from creating a world full of peace and justice. People need to be courageous in order to create positive change in the world, such as overcoming a fear of compromise. If people would act courageous and be brave enough to stand up to one another and compromise on issues, wars such as the fight over Jerusalem could bring the conflicting sides together in mediation. Oceans are the great connectors in the world, as they reach out to every continent on Earth. If I can overcome my fear of oceans, any one person on the planet can overcome their fears and instill change in society. Courage has the power to stand up to any problem in the world. After I overcame my fear of the ocean in order to save my life, I realized that courage is one of the most important characteristics a person can have, and I applied it to other fears in my life. A fear of heights has always been prominent in my life, yet now I jump off cliffs on occasion. Had I not used courage, my brother and I could have drowned, and if people in our world don't use courage, immoral behavior will continue to plague our world. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to stand up to it. If everyone acted courageous for what they believe in, peace and justice could replace warfare and evil in our world.